Hi, this is Jay Strider. Just wanted to do a quick video to kind of go over what I was doing on my CV, some of the signals and logic I was doing just to share. I had a lot of fun just fixing up this ship. This is Jeff Randall's MCRN Pioneer, which I just customized for my own needs. It's probably my favorite ship in the workshop. So I'll show you what his is like and what I did in terms of the logic. So on his ship he has these switches. He likes having these switches and he does different functions. He's got the ground defense here. Flip that on. Turrets come out. He's got some other functions here. Lights. Thrusters and heavy lift mode. So there's actually two sets of thrusters that operate independently, which is actually pretty cool. So I'm not a huge fan of switches, so one of the things I did in mine, I changed some of the functions, but I also got rid of the switches and tried to move everything to the P menu. You'll see on my P menu here, I'm using all these signals. In fact, I'll show you on the original here. There's nothing on here. They're all just from the switches. So I prefer the P menu. So what I did, you can see if I turn this thruster mode on and off, I get this on-off indicator, which it's a little bit glitched. That text, sometimes you can see it and sometimes you can't, depending on what angle you're at. But the green light's pretty obvious. So got this heavy thrust switch. It's similar to that one. I kept that one there. So I also have this tiered just mode effect. So like if I'm just flying, I can go into cruise mode, and when I do that, it makes sure turrets are on, and it gives me thruster power, just basic thruster, not the heavy mode. I also have a mine ore mode, which turns the drill on, and I don't know if the sound will come through, but you might have just heard the mining turret come out. So I have this tiered and prioritized, so if different things override other things. So I turn that mining mode off and the drill goes back down, but the thrusters are still on because cruise mode is still on. So I also have this park mode and Minpower mode. So this is a defensive, I call it defensive dwell. That's just if I park somewhere and I want to run out of the ship for some reason, but I don't want to leave the ship undefended. It's still powered up, but the thrusters are off and the turrets are on. Minpower mode is very similar to the park mode, where I just turn everything off just to log off. So this will totally overwrite everything. If I have all this stuff on and I just want to log off, I can just hit Minpower, log out. So on top of that, I also have this battle stations mode. The battle stations mode actually overrides even the Minpower mode. It overwrites everything. If I'm getting into a situation where somebody's attacking or something, I can turn that on, and you can see shield turned on, all the thrusters turned on, also some just fun, just for effect things I have, kind of a red alert mode, where I'm sitting in the captain's chair and I'm flying around. I can go to battle stations. Turn that off, and the way I have this set up right now, that would go straight back to Minpower mode. Turn off Minpower mode, I'm in cruise mode, so I could just fly around from here. Park, put it on dwell, thrusters go off even though I still have this go off. So in order to do that, here's all the circuit logic, and it kind of looks like a lot when you're looking at it, but one item at a time, it's not too bad. So here's how I would do that. So I'll start over here. Go to daytime. Okay, so here's a really basic logic example ref03 corresponding to the forum post I put on Empyrion forums, which if I remember I will link in the video. So this is pretty simple. Low power mode, inverted, going to a thruster. So whenever I turn low power mode on, it'll, let me rephrase that. The thruster will always be on unless I turn on low power mode. When I turn on low power mode, the thruster goes off. It's very basic. In fact, you don't even need to use a circuit for this one. All you have to do is follow the low power mode inverted. So when low power is on, the thruster is off. Alternatively, you could just tell this to turn off with low power mode, and what that would do is just whenever you activate this, it turns off and stays off. And that's true of whether you turn it on or off. Anytime you change the state, it'll just turn off. Actually, it doesn't really matter. I actually don't use this one in my ship, but it's a good starting point to explain the logic we're about to do next. So here's ref02. So the way this is, I have a cruise mode, which the thruster here will just follow the cruise mode. So if I turn cruise mode off, thruster's off, cruise mode on, thruster's on. I have a low power mode. The low power mode will actually, the inverted low power mode and this will make it to where no matter what the cruise mode is set to, the low power mode will turn off the thruster. I have this battle stations mode. With this logic, no matter what these two are set as, the battle station mode will overwrite it on, so making sure when your battle stations, the thruster is on. So you can see no matter what I do, I can do cruise on and off, it stays on. Low power on and off, doesn't matter. Take battle stations off. Low power mode turns it off. You see I have cruise mode off, low power mode does nothing, it just stays off. So, take that example, expand it a little bit. I have 3 modes that turn a thruster on. I have a cruise mode, a thrust mode, a mine or drill mode. So if I say cruise, cruise is on, these are not on, thrusters are on. Thrust group A turns this on. They can't be more on, so it doesn't do anything. What else? Mine drill mode. So as you can see, any combination of these being on, we'll leave those on as long as nothing's inhibiting it. So these are the inhibitors. These are the functions. These two are will inhibit this if turned on, and this overrides all of them to turn it on. So you can see I've got mine drill mode on. If I turn low power mode on, it'll turn the thrusters off. This 2x NOR says this is green when neither of these is on. So like if I have neither of these is on, this is good because this is on. So 2 and, that's true. And this is an OR, so if this or this is on, then they'll be on. So when I turn on either low power mode or park mode, no matter what else is on, it's gonna turn off those thrusters. So it inhibits them. Turn park mode off. there's that. So if I turn on low power mode, it's off, and then, hey, I'm getting attacked or something. Well, I go straight to battle stations. Boom. It overrides everything. I also have this other thrust group hooked up to battle stations, so that turns on too. Turn that off. Turn the inhibitor off. I'm in cruise mode. I also have this thrust group B that's independent. I can turn those on and off. These are actually, I didn't show all the logic, but it's actually this circuit right here. But for these. So notice, this is why you wouldn't necessarily just use this if you have two different thrust groups. So thrust group B, I can have that off. If you turn this on or off, it turns them all on or all off. So this way I can separate them out. Low power mode. This one is not currently set to low power mode. Okay, so kind of see how that, so this is the logic. I'll show you how that actually works out in the signals. So if I go to one of these thrusters, so this thruster right here, it follows thrust A, CX, which is just a shorthand I use for the final signal circuit. So thrust A, CX, find that one here. It's right here. So if you look what's immediately, this should be a 2x OR, and it is. It's a 2x OR with the result of the 2x AND, which is this guy, and the battle stations. So the battle stations just comes direct here. The battle stations with the 2x AND result goes into a 2x OR to come here. So we're kind of going to trace this back. So the 2x AND, this light turns on with that. So that light just follows the 2x AND SO2. That's this guy. You can see that's a 2x AND function with the result of the 4x OR and the 2x NOR. So if we look at the 2x NOR first, that should be a 2x NOR with that and that, which those are just the switches. So the low power mode and the park mode. So 2x NOR SO1 is right here, and that's all that is, a 2x NOR with low power or park 12. And if we look at this guy, the 4x OR, that's a simple one. It's just an OR function with three of these switches on there. So that is 4x OR SO1. That's right here. And you'll notice there's only 3, but all you have to do is just not fill out the 4th one to get a 3x. So that's cruise, thrust group A, mine drill. So those are the switches. So that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I needed 4 circuits to make this complex circuit. That's it. It's actually, once you have the logic worked out, it's pretty straightforward. Anyway, I think I pretty much covered everything. So thanks for watching.